Assalamu alaikum. Today we will complete with chapter 24, lesson 3, plant hormones. Let's start with the first question, which is what roles do plant hormones play? The answer is plant hormones serves as a signals that control development of cells, tissues, and organs. They also coordinate responses to the environment. The opposing effect of plant hormones contribute to the balance necessary for homeostasis. What we mean by hormones? Hormones are chemical signals produced by living organisms that affect the growth, activity, and development of cells and tissues within them. They also coordinate responses to the environment. In a plant, hormones may act on the same cells in which they are made, or they may travel to different cells or tissues as seen in the figure. As you can see here, the hormone that produced in this flower will move toward another target cells, and another target cells will be affected by stop the growth of this target cells. As you know, some hormones will act as inhibitor, as these hormones that are produced in this flower, and other hormones may be as stimulator. The portions of an organism affected by a particular hormone is known as target cells. So the target cells here contain something called hormone receptors, and these hormone receptors, mainly known as protein, they will bind with the hormone and the action will start. So the response that results will depend on what kind of receptors are present in the target cells. Okay, depending on the receptors present, a given hormone may affect roots differently than the way it affects stems or even flower. Okay, it's according to the, or depending on the receptors. Let's start with the first hormone, which is called auxins. According to Charles Darwin and his son Francis, they made they contribute experiment, and the experiment done on 5 plants. The first one is the control. The second one on the left is a tip removed. Third one, opaque cap. They covered the tip with opaque material. And the fourth one, they cover it with a clear cap, and the last one, the opaque shield over the base. Okay, and according to this experiment, he found that the 3 plants that spin toward the sun, they are having a free cap, or even the sun can reach the tip. Okay, and by these things, he found that there is something that will control the growth toward the sun, and he hypothesized that the tip produces substances that regulate the cell growth toward the sun. So auxins stimulate cell elongations and the growth of new roots, among other roots that they play, and they are produced in the short apical meristem and transported to the rest of the plant. So where we can find the production of auxins? On the short apical meristem tissue. One of the effects of auxins is to stimulate cell elongation. When light hits one side of the shot, auxins collected in the shade part of the shot. This change in concentration stimulates cells on the dark side to lengthen, causing the shot to bend away from the shaded side and toward the light. Auxins also regulate cell division in meristem. Growth at lateral buds is inhibited by auxins. So one of the effects of the auxins is inhibiting the growth of the lateral buds on the plant. Because auxins move out from the apical meristem, the closer a bud is to the stem tip, the more it is inhibited. Lateral buds near the apex grow more slowly than those near the base of the plant. This phenomenon is called apical dominance. So the apical one will be dominant over the lateral one, okay, the lateral buds. If you snip off the tip of the plant, the lateral buds begin to grow more quickly and the plants become pucer. And that means if you want the plant to be more dense, you will cut the tip of the plant, and now you will have more branches. And if you want the plant to grow on vertical line, you will just leave the tip without cutting. This is because the apical meristem, the source of the growth inhibiting auxins, has been eliminating. So there is no auxins, and the auxin now can't regulate or can't inhibit the growth of lateral buds. Also, we have another hormone called cytokinin, which is a plant hormone that are produced in growing roots and in developing fruits and seeds. Cytokinin, it's known to stimulate cell division, and they interact with an auxins to control the growth of a new organs in injured plant and to balance root and shoot growth. Cytokinin also delay the aging of leaves and play important role in the early stages of plant growth. Also, the cytokinin often produce effects opposite to those of auxins. So, if auxins stimulate the inhibition of the new roots and they inhibit the initiation and the growth of a new shot tip, cytokinin do just the opposite. So, if a tree is cut down, the stump will often make a new shot because cytokinin accumulate near to the cut, and while the auxins already move away, and that will initiate and start the growth of a new shot. We have another a hormone called gibberellins. This hormone stimulates the growth and can influence various developmental processes. Gibberellins promotes germinations of plants and may cause dramatic increase in size, particularly in stems and fruits. Gibberellins are found in the meristem of shots, roots, and seeds embryo. We have also abscisic acid. Gibberellins interact with another hormones, which is abscisic acid, to control seed dormancy. Okay, this acid inhibits the cell division, thereby halting growth. And the abscisic acid are also found in the terminal buds and seeds. As you can see, when seed development is complete, abscisic acid stops the seed's growth and shifts the embryo into a dormant stage or state. The embryo rests until environmental events shift the balance of hormones. Such events may include strong spring rain that washes abscisic acids away without the opposing effect of abscisic acid. The gibberellins now can signal germinations and start the growth of the plant. Also, we have the ethylene. In response to auxins, fruit tissues release small amounts of hormone called ethylene, which stimulate fruit to ripen. Ethylene also causes plant to seal off and drop organs that are no longer needed. For example, petals after flower have been pollinated, leaves in autumn, and ripened fruits. Ethylene signals cells at the base of the structure to seal off from the rest of the plant by depositing waterproof materials in their walls. Tropisms and rapid movement. What are some examples of environmental stimuli to which a plant respond? The answer: plant respond to environmental stimuli such as light, gravity, and touch. The first one, tropisms. Plants respond to the environmental stimuli such as light, gravity, and touch again. Plants have sensors that detect the direction of stimuli and signal elongations organs to orient their growth toward or away from these stimuli. These growth responses are called tropisms. Okay, tropisms again. The first one, the light. The tendency of the plant to grow toward the light source is called photoporism. Okay, changes in the concentrations of auxins are responsible for this phenomenon. Experiments have shown that the auxin migrate toward shaded tissues and make it more elongated. The second one, which is the gravity. Auxins also affect the gravity birds. Okay. Auxins migrate to the lower side of horizontal roots and stems. At the same time, in horizontal stems, the migration causes the stem to bend upright in horizontal roots. However, the migration causes root to bend downward. The last one, which is the touch. Some plants respond to touch, a process called thymosperm. In vines and climbing plants exhibit thymosperms, okay, or sperms, when they encounter an object and wrap around it. Other plants, such as grapevines, have extra growth called tendrils that emerge near the base of the leaf and wrap tightly around an object they encounter. The rapid movement. Some plant responses are very rapid, like mimosa plant that will respond to being touched by folding its leaves quickly. This response is produced by decreased osmotic pressures in cells near the base of each leaflet. The carnivore's venous flytraps also demonstrate rapid responses or rapid movement. Okay, when insects enter this plant leaf, it will trigger it and cause it to close. We also have a response to seasons. How do plants respond to seasonal changes? The answer is photorapid or photoperiod is a major factor in the timing of seasonal activities such as flowering and growth. As cold weather approaches, didicous plants turn off photosynthetic pathway, transport material from leaves to roots, and seal off leaves from the rest of the plant. The photoperiod and flowering, many plants respond to the relative length of light and darkness. A stimulus called photoperiod is a major factor in the timing of seasonal activities such as flowering and growth, as you can see here in this picture. A plant pigment called phytochrome is responsible for photoperiodism. Phytochrome absorbs red light and activates a number of signaling pathways within plant cells. Plants respond to regular changes in these pathways. We have also something called winter dormancy. Phytochrome also regulate the changes in activities that prepare many plants for dormancy as winter approaches. As cold weather approaches, didicous plants turn off photosynthetic system or pathway, transport material from leaf to root, and seal off leaves from the rest of the plant, and that will cause the leaf loss. Okay? Many flowering plants lose their own leaf during the colder month. The phytochrome is leaves absorbs light or less light as days shorten and nights become longer. Oxygen production will drop, but the productions of ethylene increase. As a chlorophyll breakdown, other pigments including yellow and orange carotenoids become visible for the first time. The brilliant reds come from the anthocyanin pigments that are freshly made, and then hormone produce important changes in apical meristers and produce thick waxy scales that form protective layer around the new leaf buds. Enclosed in its coat of scales, a terminal bud can survive cold winter days. There is a changes also to meristers. As the onset of winter, xylem and phloem tissues pump themselves full of ions and organic compound. The resulting solutions act like antifreeze in a car, preventing the trees sap from freezing, and that will happen, or that what will happen inshallah in the changes in the seasons. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.